CCI, better known as California Correctional Institution Tehachapi, would first open its doors in 1954 and today houses approximately 2,400 minimum, medium, and maximum security custody individuals. On April 5th, 2025, 8:07 a.m., officers responded after incarcerated person Demetrius Cole alerted staff that he was feeling distressed. Upon arrival, officers would enter the cell and they found Cole's cellmate, Parrish Duren, unresponsive with visible injuries. Officers would immediately initiate life-saving measures and activate emergency medical services. Duren would be taken to the prison's triage and treatment area, where although medical staff would continue life-saving measures, Duren would be pronounced deceased at 8:55 a.m.
Hard to sell introduction to the new gangs, the crack-fed gangs that are booming in America's cities. Tonight, we look at the first layer of victims, the bystanders, the people caught in the crossfire.
Oh, man, ain't nobody gonna bring her back. Ain't nobody bring her back.
A woman shot and killed near the L.A. Coliseum, a case of misidentification. A 13-year-old shot his father and sister killed because the boy wore the wrong color hat. A drive-by shooting in Stockton, the victim wearing the wrong colors. Countless horrors from Los Angeles to Oakland with thousands of people caught in the crossfire. So that you'll better understand what is happening here, we'll introduce you first to a group of Crips, gangbangers from the Linwood section of Los Angeles, a war zone filled with posturing little soldiers.
It's easy to Crip to me.
How important's the money?
Is it not important?
You'd be a Crip whether there was the money or not.
Yeah, that's right. Y'all think Crippin' got to do with money?
It ain't got nothing to do with money. That's protecting your homeboys. Watching out for one another. Some y'all don't do. Y'all don't watch out. You wouldn't die for him, would you? You saying that now on TV, but you wouldn't die for him for real. I'd die for my homeboy.
Would you die?
Yeah, I'd die for my homeboy.
If somebody came up to you tomorrow, grabbed you and said, I got a job, a good job, good pay for you, would that make a difference?
Come on, let's go now.
It ain't gonna stop me from Crippin'.
But you'd take the job too, wouldn't you?
Huh?
You'd take the job too?
I'm a Crip at work.
Oakland has the same problems, with a slightly different twist. The kids at the Thunder Road Drug Rehab Center have lived through it, are living through it.
Everything started off fine for me, but as time went on, I started to get too deep in the drugs, so I started getting in trouble on the streets. So I thought to myself, it was either this or death.
You can never get away with the problem, because it has been expanding a lot. Like before, it used to just be fist fights, and I was getting into Uzi guns, grenades and stuff.
You see that stuff?
Yeah, I see that stuff.
It's not just crack. I feel it's PCP too. I mean, crack's just like PCP. I mean, it can cause death.
What do you expect a young kid to do if he goes outside and he don't see nothing but dope dealers, big gold chains, a lot of money, and girls, you want to grow up and be just like him. But the problem is, kids in the ghettos and things, they don't have no place to go after school, so they just hang out in the lots, So that's what they see, that's their role model, so that's what they want to be like. I feel like the community has to band together because that's what the solution is.
And what it takes is a shock, say the discovery of an 11-year-old selling drugs on your street.
I said, now, what are you doing, man? And he said, I'm making a living.
Now, tomorrow night, we'll begin the look at the solutions, at people trying to do something, at the theories. And there are numerous theories about what should be done.
There were 2 people shot in Los Angeles overnight in drive-by attacks. They may have been gang-related, they may have been drug-related, or both. A teenager was seriously wounded and a security guard was killed. It did not surprise Los Angeles police that the shootings happened in spite of their second night of massive sweeps through gang areas. They had not expected to solve the drug and violence problems there overnight. For one young woman spoke lightly of her loyalty to the Crips gang and their murder of members of rival gangs.
Like the Crips, but it's just the Slavs that got to go.
I don't understand. It's the what?
The Slavs, the Pyrus.
What's the Pyru?
That's the other ones, the ones that we killing.
The firepower was certainly there. These are some of the weapons seized overnight in police actions, along with amounts of crack and money, lots of money. the lifeblood of the drug gangs and the motivator in their violence. Gang competition for drug millions has led two L.A. gangs, the Crips and the Bloods, to expand to the northwest, battling for turf in Seattle and Portland. While L.A. police were arresting several people over this last weekend, their number in the hundreds, Seattle police were dealing with other members of those same gangs. Some 80% of Seattle's crack is said to come from L.A.
We have documented instances of California gang members being here in Seattle.
I think it's important to emphasize that the biggest victims in this whole scenario are actually the people that live in the areas where drugs are being dealt.
Seattle police say that 7 people have been killed there this year in drug gang-related shootings. 387 were killed in such crimes in L.A. last year.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Another episode of Green Lit Gang TV. Much love, much appreciation. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel today. It means a lot that you are here. Really quick, before we jump into it, let's do the intros. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I do hope you enjoy it. If you do like it, go back, check out some other videos, check out some other content, and let me know what you think. And you already know, guys, if you're a regular viewer, subscriber, supporter of this channel, then you already know how much you guys mean to me. The growth so far in 2025 has been absolutely insane. Seriously, beyond my expectations. It's absolutely superseded that. So again, shout out to each and every one of you. Lastly, if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, hit the like button, hit the comment button, engage. It's a conversation, and smash the subscribe button. Let's go. What's going on, you guys? Okay, so today we're going to be going back to California to cover a murder that took place inside of California Correctional Institution, better known as Tehachapi State Prison, on April 5th, 2025. I got some good background information on the victim in this case, Parrish Duren. But first, we're going to be reading from the CDCR's main website, talking about the actual attack that took place, and then we're going to be jumping into the background of the alleged victim. 8:07 a.m., California Correctional Institution officers responded after incarcerated person Demetrius Cole alerted staff that he was feeling distressed. When officers entered the cell, they found Cole's cellmate, Parrish Duren, unresponsive with visible injuries. Officers immediately initiated life-saving measures and activated emergency medical services. Duren was taken to the prison's triage and treatment area, where medical staff continued life-saving efforts. He was pronounced deceased at 8:55 a.m. Cole has been placed in restricted housing pending an investigation by the CCI Investigative Services Unit and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. Remember, if this prison sounds familiar, this is the same prison that Tory Lanez was almost murdered in. They said that was over a phone call, like he was on phone with somebody on accident. It was the girlfriend of the inmate that attacked him, that Hispanic guy. Basically gave the phone to the Hispanic guy, kind of made a joke that, hey man, your girl was trying to flirt with me. Well, this guy who's doing life did not take that lightly, and however much time passed afterwards, he absolutely tried to take Tory Lanez's life by stabbing him to death. It's a crazy video. You can find it online, but it happened at this same prison, Tehachapi Prison. Okay, Parrish Duren, our victim, 38, was received from San Bernardino County on March 19th, 2014. He was serving a 16-year sentence for involuntary manslaughter. Demetrius Cole, 37, was from Los Angeles County on August 7th, 2015. He is serving a 31-year sentence for attempted second-degree murder and first-degree burglary. I did not realize, though, how old this prison was. Opened in 1954. Honestly, did not know that. I know I've covered 1 or 2 cases out of Tehachapi. But again, that's a pretty old prison, especially for California. Even though California's got some older ones, 1954 is still getting up there in years. Okay, so our victim in this case, Parrish Duren, serving 16 years, and, actually didn't have a whole lot of time left when you consider that his crime happened in 2012. He'd been down since 2014. He was starting to get down there, single digits years left until he was going to be released. Okay, this is an article, December 21st, 2012, out of Apple Valley, California. 3 Apple Valley men are behind bars for the shooting death of an Apple Valley woman and the attempted murder of a man during a shooting last month, San Bernardino County Sheriff's officials said. Marvin Cage, 36, who was on parole. Parrish Duren, 26, who had multiple arrest warrants out of Los Angeles, were arrested Thursday on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. Tobias Dunn, the third man, 29, was arrested early Friday morning, Cindy Backman, spokesman for the Sheriff's Department, said. The 3 men were connected to a shooting on November 27th, 2012, outside an Apple Valley home in the 15,000 block of Serrano Road, where a man and woman were struck. Both were taken to a hospital where the woman, 33-year-old Tamara Payton, later died. A motive in the shooting has not been released. All 3 men are expected to be arraigned on Monday in Victorville Court. was able to go through and was able to come across an appeal where this really broke down the gang ties between certain Crips and certain hoods. It kind of gives an outline and an idea about, why this happened, and then it really breaks down what happened into some really crazy detail. And this is from an appeal that was filed a few years ago. This is the facts of the case. And it says, appellants were members of the Poquet Hood Compton Crips criminal street gang. Deshaun Douglas, remember, he's the one that was with Tamar Payton. He survived the attack. Was a member of the Front Hood criminal street gang and rival of the Poquet Hood. The rivalry was violent, and if the two rival gang members encountered each other on the street, they usually physically fought, or if they had guns, shot each other. Douglas was engaged to Tamara Payton, and they were living together for 6 months prior to Payton's death. Around November 24th, 2012, remember, this is Deshaun Douglas. Douglas was washing Tamara Payton's car in their driveway on Serrano Road in Apple Valley when he noticed Cage, one of the three accused, parked at the curb in his gray Buick Park Avenue. As Douglas approached the car, Cage drove away. A day or two later, Douglas and Payton were at Grand Liquor Store in Apple Valley. Douglas saw Dunn sitting in the back seat of Cage's car and a woman sitting in the front passenger seat. Inside the store, Douglas ran into Cage. Cage started laughing or smirking and yelled to Dunn, quote, "He's one of them boys." Dunn got out of the car and walked toward the door of the liquor store, but did not say anything to Douglas. Cage asked Douglas where he was from. Douglas responded, quote, "You know where I'm from." Cage then said, quote, "I'm from the Poquet Hood. They call me Monster." Douglas returned to his car and drove away with Payton. As they were driving, Cage drove up behind them and acted like he was going to hit their car. Douglas wanted to get out of his car, but Payton persuaded him to stay in the car and keep driving. After they turned on Highway 18, Cage started swerving his car towards Douglas's again, acting like he was going to hit Douglas's car. Douglas sped up and Cage turned onto another street. Just kind of picture that, right? You're with your girl. Here's this guy who's talking shit to you in the liquor store. Now he's pretending like he might run you off the road. Your girl's trying to keep you calm. It's just a mess. On November 27th, 2012, Douglas and Payton were getting ready to go to Long Beach when Douglas realized the gas tank on Payton's car was leaking because someone had stabbed it. Douglas and Payton thought James Ware might be responsible for the punctured gas tank because Douglas and Ware had fought a few days earlier. It doesn't give any context to who this James Ware guy is. Just kind of jumps on to the next thing. Douglas and Payton drove to AutoZone to get items to fix the tank. As they were driving, they saw Cage driving in the opposite direction. Dunn, again, was in the front passenger seat. Cage swerved as if he was going to drive across the road, but then continued driving. Around 5 p.m., when Douglas and Payton returned from AutoZone, Douglas saw someone by the side of their house. Douglas drove up the 135-foot-long driveway and parked the car. Unbeknownst to Douglas, Cage and Dunn had driven to Serrano Road with their friend, Parrish Duren. Cage had told Duren that they needed to go take care of some business, and Cage and Dunn each grabbed handguns from another seats and walked towards Douglas and Payton's home. Cage had a 9mm handgun, and Dunn had a 38 caliber handgun. Duren got into the driver's seat of Cage's car and turned it around to wait their return. Duren pled guilty. This is Parrish Duren, our victim in this case. He pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter with gang enhancements and would get a 16-year prison sentence. As Douglas exited the car, Dunn began running toward him with a gun. Dunn began shooting at him. Cage was standing near the end of the driveway. Douglas, this is sad, ran to the passenger side of the car and threw himself on his fiancée, threw Payton to the ground, trying to cover her. When Dunn got close enough, he kicked Douglas off of Payton, shot her several times. Dunn then ran back down the driveway. Holding guns in their hands, Dunn and Cage jumped into the car with Duren, who sped away. One of Douglas's neighbors saw the car as the three men fled, although the neighbor thought it was a Buick LeSabre, which is similar to a Buick Park Avenue. And from there, the three guys were rounded up over the course of the next few weeks. But I love reading these appeals because it really gives context and layers to the people involved in these prison attacks. Parrish Duren, we know reading it, he's a gang member, and it said he had multiple warrants out of Los Angeles. He's a Poquet Hood Compton Crip. It's on the east side of Compton. It's sad that he got killed, right? And I know I get comments sometimes go, why are you saying it's sad? And it's like, because it is sad, because there are people that love these individuals. Although, I will say, there are videos I've done where and if you've watched them, you know I go full out that this person deserved it. In this case, I'm not going to go that far with it, but he was definitely involved in taking of a young woman's life. I leave that up to God, and I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments below to let me know what you think. And anyway, absolutely crazy story. Let me know what you think in the comments, please. And until next time, you already know what it is. Peace.